Marie, what is the nicest thing a non-family member has ever done for you?
Mm, I have to say, somebody who opened their home for me. And let me give you the background story. I was experiencing a very difficult time in my life. I was going into transition. I'm a medical doctor and I was starting my spiritual business. So I needed time alone. And I was meditating a lot and praying a lot. And every time I meditated, I would see myself in a this location on a rooftop in a house, a rooftop with grass, and on the in the distance, I could see the ocean, I could see the rainforest, and I could see mountains. And the first time it happened, I just thought maybe I went really deep into meditation. And it started happening every day. I'd meditated and I couldn't explain what it was and couldn't make sense of it. And after a while, I let it go. A couple months later, I traveled to Costa Rica to visit friends. And when I got to those friends' house, I just felt inspired to share what was happening to me every time I was going into meditation. And I described the house. It was a house with, like I said, a rooftop with grass on the rooftop with birds. And there was a pool, an infinity pool. And below the pool, there was a rainforest. And in the distance, the ocean and the mountains. And when I finished describing the place, they started laughing. And they said, I know exactly where that house is. Now, this is something that I was experiencing while meditating and journeying. I had never been to Costa Rica. I had never told anyone about it. So they decided to take me to their friend's house and introduce me. And when I got there, when I entered the place, it was like, this is exactly what I had been seeing over the last 2 months. And when they introduced me to this friend, his name is Amnon, we had an instant rapport, instant connection that we couldn't explain. And so I started talking about myself and telling him what was going on in my life, that I was in transition, and it was pretty tough. It was pretty tough. And so he said, "Do you need a place to stay while you're in Costa Rica and thinking about your transition?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for a place." And he opened his house for me. He said, "You can stay in this villa as long as you like. I'm going on vacation with my family, with my wife and kids, and the house is yours, rent free. You can use all the food that is here, all the help that is here." Now, this is somebody I had just met 15 minutes prior to this conversation taking place. And that is something that until today, I am so grateful and so hopeful actually for humanity that we're still able to do those kinds of things. Um, I stayed in that house and I was able to really connect to my inner self, to connect to nature, to take the time to reflect and really get to this next phase of my life in a harmonious way. Like I wasn't struggling about my, safety and security needs. They were already taken care of. So I could just focus on the next step, on guidance. And yeah, it was incredible. And the other thing that actually I was reflecting on is the fact that because I had been asking for guidance, the universe, the divine, to show me, I was seeing that image of the villa, of this place, but I wasn't understanding the message. And when I got there, I finally realized that I was actually being literally guided to go to that place where I felt nurtured, I felt held, I felt supported. So yeah, that's the nicest, the most amazing, incredible thing somebody has ever done for me.